Hello everyone. Let's get the volume turned up. Hey, I'm Liz, your teacher. So this is our last level 2 class for the month of June tonight. So this is week 4 and our theme is travel. We're working on technique, we're working on transitions, we're working on drills and focusing on steps, breaking down steps that travel. So our step tonight is going to, well, let me just start off saying it's a rhythmic undulation variation with a repeating arm pattern. We haven't worked on it in a while, and it was inspired by the water pot, the arms. Okay, so it also travels in a fade and a circle. So we're gonna look at that tonight. So let's get started with a drill. And our drill is going to be, it's on the board here, pivot bump, arc arm, Arabic, Egyptian, half turn, shoulder shimmy, hip drop at least twice, and Arabic shimmy with arms and turn. So I've got it in red on the drill. So one thing I want to make clear as we've worked this month on arc arm is I would avoid, and Erin and I were talking about this last week, and I thought, and she said, really? I didn't know that, to something I said, and I thought, let me just repeat it because, so in level 3, we've worked on the arc arm combo, the choo-choo arc arm combo. And that is where the arc arm is done in 8 counts because that is the way the entire combo is. And that's a dialect. And also that is the cue. So when you start doing a choo-choo arc arm combo in an 8 counts, so you're completely done and arms are overhead in 8 counts, that means to someone that you're probably going to do the combo. Generally, it would be followed up with you facing in afterwards. So you can certainly use the arc arm in level 2 to turn to face in, but just make sure that you do it in 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, ending here or ending here. So just be aware of your timing and how that timing with this specific step can cue that combo. Okay. All right, so let's get started with our drill. And Erin and I will probably change leads. Yeah. So if we're going to change leads, that we could stay facing in for the arc arm or the Arabic or the Egyptian half turn and move around each other. So you guys just follow us through it. You'll see it happen. All right, let's go with drum spider. Well, I had drum spider selected and then immediately changed to something else. I know, don't you love it? And then it shifted the music way down.
Yeah.
It's funny. So I couldn't find it. Here we go.
4, 3, 2, and go. Yeah.
exhale, slowly curl over the knees. And then inhale, come back up. Arms up overhead. Then exhale, bending forwards. Just kind of curving over the knees. And slowly roll up. Inhale, arms up. Then step back with the right foot. Reach up with the right arm for a side stretch. Reaching up, feeling that space opening between the rib cage and the hip. Feels so good. Come to center. Let's do the other side. Step back with the left foot, reach up with the left arm. Opening up, feeling that space. If it feels tight between the rib cage and hip, it's probably a good thing that you're doing this. And let's do it one more time. Repeating on either side. Right side. Reaching up, lifting the rib cage, stretching through the armpit, rooting the foot down through the floor. Come back to center, and left side. Reaching up and rooting down, arcing over, feeling that tight space. Mine's really tight today. Through the rib cage and the hip. Inhale and exhale, and come back to center. Rolling shoulders forward, up, back and down. Feels good, huh? Yeah. Rolling the shoulders. And change direction. Maybe lift those shoulder blades up as you roll the arms and the shoulders forward. Good. Let's let our head fall off to the left. So just trying to align feet, hips, shoulders, and let the head fall over to the right, stretching the left side of the neck. Then roll the chin down and let the head fall to the left, stretching the right side of the neck. And just let the arms hang. Inhale and exhale. And head back to center. Look over the right shoulder. So looking off to the right side, inhaling and exhaling. And head back to center, and then let's look over the left shoulder. Inhaling, exhaling. Spread the fingers out. And let's curl the fingers, pinky, ring, middle, pointer, thumb, and twist the hands down. And wrist forward, and then opening up the wrist, thumb to the back of the room, pointer, middle finger, pinky, and arch the hands backwards. And turning them in, unfolding the fingers, just a reverse of what you did, stretching. Feels good. Good, so let's bring the right foot forward. So we're all of our weight's on the left foot. We can put our hand above our left knee. And contract the low belly. And let's focus on stretching the back of the leg here. And if you need to bend over a little bit more forward like I am to feel something, that's okay. Otherwise, you feel something here, that's fine too. Good, and let's step back with the right foot. Wiggle the hips out a little bit. So whatever distance here is comfortable for you, just dial it up for yourself. And contract both glutes, and you'll start to feel a little opening here in the hip flexor in the front. And let's come up on the ball of the back foot. Keep the glutes contracted, and we'll lower down by bending that right knee and the left knee. We'll hold that and slowly raise the arms up as we inhale. Bring the hands to the center and slowly bring them down. Keeping shoulders back, middle back contraction. Engaged. And let's open to the right side as the arms come up. And keep going up overhead and come to the center, and let's do the other side. So just getting a nice twist, only keep our hips facing one direction. And good, and come back to center, and let's switch to the left leg. Bending the right knee. You can put your hands above the weight your leg is on the right leg. Put them above the knee. And so bend as far over as you need to feel a stretch in the back of the leg, flexing the toe up. You can grab that toe and pull it towards you if you want a little bit more stretch. And slowly roll up. Stepping back with the left foot. You decide how deep your lunge is going to be. So pressing the toes into the floor, really getting yourself grounded and stabilized, finding your balance, and then coming up on the ball of the back foot and bending the knees, both knees down. So contract low belly, release low back. We'll hold this, inhale. Remember, contracting the glutes helps to open the front of the hips. Okay, so as the arms come up, we're going to twist over to the left. Inhale the arms up, and then as they're overhead, come back to the front. And then we're going to twist over to the right. Inhale. And come back to center. Nice. Pressing off, wiggling it out. So I always like to point and flex. So let's point and flex whichever foot you choose. Get the blood pumping in the legs and feet. And circle. Change direction. Shake it out. And switch to the other foot. Point and flex. And circle. Nice. Good. Shake it out. Okay, inhale, arms up. Bringing your hands to heart center, and let's prepare ourselves to get ready to dance tonight. So gesturing out for the space that we're in. Hands overhead for lotus blossom. Gesture to the floor or squat down. Touch your ears for the music that we dance to. The floor again. Bring your hands in front of your forehead for your teachers, and your heart for your ancestors. Gesture out for everyone we dance with and everyone we will dance for. Slowly, gracefully, gather it all up. Such a good song. Okay, so did I say what step we're focused on tonight? I don't think I did. Did I hear?
Hinted.
Hinted. And probably all of you know. So before we start breaking our feature step down, let's talk about our rhythmic undulation shimmy or aerobic shimmy. So I think I talked about it a couple weeks ago, but let's just make sure that everybody is clear. So the aerobic or rhythmic undulation is 2 counts, and it looks like this: 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So now what I'm going to do is put a shimmy over it. So every time I step, I'm going to do a bounce. I'm going to do a push into that foot to bounce the hip, and then I'll let the hip reverb. And then I'll step on the left foot and push into the left hip and bounce it and let it reverb. So when I step on the right foot, I'm going to do my initial bounce, and then my hips are going to shake up, down, right? And then I'll step on my left foot and I'll bounce, and I'll just let my hips shake. But really, you know, if we don't really want to try to create an up, down, up on either side. You want to do a bounce and then let it just residual after that. But when I step on the right foot, I'm stepping and my hip's going to go up, down, up. And when I step on the left foot, as I step on the left foot, my hip's going to go up, and then my residual is down, up. So all I want you to think about is when you step, you push into that foot and create the shimmy, get the shimmy started. Because really all we need to do is bounce the hip once and then let it be loose enough to have the reverb, right? So what we're doing here, I think I remember I held up like 2 yoga blocks when we talked about this and talked about what, oh no, that was wet dog. So as I step on my right foot, I'm lifting my chest, and my right hip is going to get the bounce, up, down, up. And then as I step on my left foot, I want to get my low body back into dance posture, and then I'm going to let the left hip bounce, up, down, up. So it's chest lift, up, down, up, and then chest and hips come back into dance posture, up, down, up on the left side. So it'll feel better whenever we're doing it at the regular speed. So let's try it. So be looking for this. So when we start doing an aerobic shimmy, generally that means we're planning another step that requires the aerobic shimmy. Yeah. So if I'm just going to do the aerobic and just pivot around, then it's very likely I'm not going to do an aerobic shimmy variation next. But if you have to, I would rather you start the aerobic shimmy immediately instead of, oh, I forgot, and now I have to re-cue the aerobic again. I'd rather you start it immediately if you know you're planning to do something, but we don't always think that way. Okay, so performance brain. I know, performance brain, exactly. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So the easiest thing to do if you're struggling with the aerobic shimmy is to start your aerobic and then do a shimmy and then do your aerobic for 2 counts and then do a shimmy for 1, 2, 3, 4 and do your aerobic 1, 2, 3, 4 and do a shimmy 1, 2, 3, 4, do aerobic 2, 3, 4 and then shimmy 2, 3, 4 and then put them together. Aerobic shimmy, aerobic shimmy, aerobic shimmy. How's it feel? Pretty good? Better with every day. Better every time you do it. I know, right? It's so true. It's so true. Okay, so just know that if you see an aerobic shimmy, there's probably a plan for a variation to come next. So this is probably something that's going to take time if you're not totally comfortable with it. So I say try the 4 counts of aerobic or 8 counts of aerobic and then 4 or 8 counts of shimmy and then try to blend the 2 together. So do a drill like that and see if that helps you. Okay, so now let's jump into our dragonfly step. And this is on volume 9 and it's considered dialect. So it's named this because they felt like when it was fading, it looked like a zippy dragonfly on a summer day, right? You know how dragonflies kind of move fast and then they stop and move fast and then they stop. Well, that was what the thought was. So that's why it's named dragonfly. So the arms are 2 counts per each arm and they repeat up and down every 4 counts. So they'll start overhead and they'll end overhead. So let's look at the arms first. So we have arms overhead and are nice rounded and arm posture. And let's just make sure we're in dance posture. So weight in the heels, knees soft, released low back, contracted low belly. So this is like, it's lower than our belly button, that contraction. And we're gonna roll the shoulders back and down, so shoulders over hips, over ankles. And keep the chin level, and we're gonna press our shoulders down. So rolling the shoulders back and down, and contracting in the middle back here lifts the chest in the front. All right, so that's where we are. So let's start with the arms first. So I'm sorry, let me do it the whole thing together. So, okay, so I'm gonna establish my aerobic shimmy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I think when I first saw them doing this, I thought, oh, well, that's not too complicated. I mean, I can get that. And then I got bored with it. And then I realized, oh my God, they're doing an aerobic shimmy. I didn't realize they had the shimmy on it because I was just paying attention to the arms. So hopefully you feel more at home with the aerobic shimmy, but adding the arms tends to totally put us in a whole new headspace, right? So needs practice. So we're gonna start off with the right arm overhead, and we're gonna bring the right arm down, and our palm's gonna come down to the shoulder, and then it's gonna press out. So palm faces out. So that was 1, 2. And then the left arm's gonna come down for 3, and then press out with the palm, and the arms are open wider than shoulder width. So that was 4 counts. Now we start with the right arm and bring it in, turn the palm in. Now the palm faces in on the right hand for 5, 6. And now the left hand comes in, turn the palm in for 7 and 8. And we're at the end of the cycle. So it's 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this right here is the part that looks like the water pot or was inspired by the water pot. So we're going to work on water pot in level 3 tonight. So just make sure your heels of your hands, your wrists are coming together like you're holding a water pot over your head. It also, the shape inside your arm looks like a water pot. So the double water pot symbolism here. So down 1, out 2, down 3, out 4, up 5, 6, 7, 8. So the arms are a little slower. It takes 2 counts for the arm to go from here to here. Yeah? Okay? So starting overhead, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. So the things to keep in mind, shake your arms out if they're burning, is we want to keep the elbows lifted. So I don't want to come 1, 2 like this, 3, 4, right? I want to keep my elbows on the countertop and just move the forearms and the hands. So I'm going to use rotation in the hand to turn the palm out when they're at countertop. And then I'm going to lift with the wrist and turn it in and face the palm in when they're up overhead. Make sense? So a little bit of softening the hands, rotating the wrist, keeping the elbows lifted, and staying at dance angle. So that's something I see. I feel like I'm correcting people more now after the pandemic about dance angle than I did before. But it's something that just keep in mind. You want to stay at dance angle. So wherever you are in your room, your device needs to be your front. So when you're dancing with other people, you're making sure you're turned towards your front left corner, or I'm turned towards my front left corner. Yeah? Okay, because the steps do look different if your body's flat. And we now know that if our body's flat, that's a cue for a fade. Yeah, so we definitely want to be at dance angle if we're not intending a fade. So, you know, you guys always like to talk about thumbs, like is your thumb down or up, or thinking about where the hands are rotated. If you think about where your thumb is traveling, like my thumb is coming in towards my center and pressing down towards the floor here. And now the thumb is coming in towards the center and then facing behind me here. So thumb rotates down, in and down. When the left arm comes down, now my thumb's going to rotate in and back up and towards the back of the room. So if you want to think about that, sometimes the position of your hand can help orient your arm and keep your elbow lifted. So we're not just placing the arms, we're using our muscles, we're engaging through, and we're coming down and pressing out. So think of a little bit of pressure on that palm as you're pressing out. Okay, so let's put the arms and the aerobic shimmy together. I know, right? Okay. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Feels pretty good? Yeah, I felt like my timing was off. Let's try it again. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Feels pretty good?
I think I need to work on also including that for the undulation.
Needs to work on the undulation,
Yeah, 'cause
forgetting the undulation.
Yeah, I feel like I'm forgetting the undulation.
See what I mean? Like once you realize, okay, I've got to move my arms in this unusual way, and then I've got to put it over a rhythmic undulation shimmy, and it just takes time to get your body to do that. It feels like you're doing something really awkward.
It's a more interesting step after all.
It is a more interesting step after all. You got it. You got it. Okay, so let's put with the quarter turn. I really love the quarter turn. So the quarter turn is 16 counts. We're gonna do it to the left side wall first, just like all of our other quarter turns, then the back wall, and then the right wall, and we finish to the front. And that should give us a 16 count total combination. All right, so let's just walk it first, okay? Okay, so keep in mind, the structure here is the arms are at horizontal. They're on our countertop when we face the side walls, and the arms are up overhead when we face the front and back wall. And that helps us to ensure that we finish to the front with the arms overhead, which opens up our ability to choose many, many other steps to do afterwards. Okay, so also as the lead, if I know I'm about to do the quarter turn, you're going to see my head look to the left on the and slightly before the one. Okay, all right, so here we go. Just the arms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to do it to the front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Other side, 2, 3, front, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got caught in my own vortex. I love it. Okay, one more time, just to make sure I'm clear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And here's what Siri thinks. She's always wanting interrupting in class. Okay, feels pretty good so far? Any questions? No? All right, let's put it with the shimmy. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and done. So probably what I do next is maybe an Egyptian step, something with the arms up. I probably would not go back into a rhythmic undulation or Arabic step. So it starts in the front with the arms up. I really recommend doing the full 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 before we quarter turn, because usually we do that. We start the core step, then we start the next part of it, and then we start the next part of it, right? And so then if we circle or anything else afterwards, it would be after all this has taken place. Because the quarter turn, when it turns around, that's what allows you to stay facing into your dance partners. Okay, so let's put it in a drill. So our drill is going to be, start out with pivot bump, then our arc arm, then we're going to do Arabic shimmy. Does this drill sound familiar? We just changed it a little bit. Then we're going to do our dragonfly, and then our quarter turn. And when we come out of the quarter turn, we're going to go into our Egyptian and half turn, and then into our shoulder shimmy hip drop. So one thing I want to ask you guys is coming out of the Egyptian half turn and then ending to the front with arms horizontal, does anybody think that's cueing a spin? I mean,
But you're stopping right there.
you're stopping. Like if I was going to cue a spin, I would do 1, 2, 3, 4. So there'd be another 4 counts of swivel step. Yeah.
That's nice.
But I'm just wondering, because everybody kind of feels something or sees something different. So if you're not paying attention to what's happening in the hips or the shoulders, and you just see the arms come down, you have 4 counts to figure out, oh, it's a shoulder shimmy, right?
Right.
So anyway, so this is basically the drill we warmed up with, where we're putting arc arm, shoulder shimmy, hip drop together with the dragonfly. So the only other step that we worked on this month is the aerobic shimmy with arms and turn. So if you want to add that in there, we could later, but so what we're doing is the arc arm first, that ends with our arms up. And that was a nice big turn. And then we're going to do our aerobic shimmy kind of in place, a little bit of calmness, no turning. Then we'll do our dragonfly. Then we quarter turn it, so it starts getting interesting again. And then we do our Egyptian and our half turn, so you have more front. So you had a quarter, then you had a half, and then we kind of plant ourselves again for a little bit more of a quiet isolation with the shoulder shimmy, hip drop. So when I'm putting together steps like this, I try to think about, okay, where's some excitement? And I want to turn to different directions. And then I want some calmness to get the audience to focus. And maybe I put these in certain parts of the music that, you know, there's a real busy part of the music, or there's a real calm part of the music, or there's a circular part of the music to where you're moving around. So you listen to, you know, where is the most appropriate time to put the steps? So listen to the music as we're dancing. All right, Erin, do you want both of us to lead?
Sure.
Cool. Sounds good. All right, we're going to use Disco McGreb because this started playing earlier and I was like, hey, I like that song. you hear how certain parts of the music, when it changed, how if I would change the step there, it just made it so much more powerful.
It really does. Yeah, and the Arabic shimmy with that.
Yeah, that it just sounds like when like the big club music hit and the crowd was all going crazy. Like that was the part of the music that I would try to put the Arabic shimmy into, and it honestly. It happened the first time and I was kind of waiting for it. I think this is where the song gets a little bit more intense and it'll be great for the shimmy. And then when it happened again, I was like, I didn't plan that, but wow, that worked out great. And then the part when I got to the front, this last time I did the shoulder shimmy, how the music quieted down a little bit. And you notice that's when we're working on an isolation. So it's a nice part of the song for you to change and get the focus on the shoulders. So yeah, I love musical interpretation and listening to the intensity of the vocals or the instruments and matching your steps to it. Because there's no right or wrong, right? I mean, it's all like, that's our creative interpretation as dancers. Yeah. Okay, so how did the quarter turn feel? Very good. Pretty good. It felt a little better to me, I think, once we got it up to normal speed.
Yes.
Right. And then, how did the finger cymbals feel? Because moving your arms in a different way with the finger cymbals going, did it affect your finger cymbals any?
With a strong leader.
No. Okay. All right.
But
yeah. So with a strong leader, no. Thank you very much. I appreciate that compliment. And I loved following you too. I thought you did a great job when you were leading, and I wanted to play around because last week when we worked on shoulder shimmy hip drop, we didn't get to play and drill the person in the back holding the shoulder shimmy. So in that drill, we did it twice. So remember, I'm trying to get around in 4 counts, and then you need to finish the shoulder shimmy in 8 counts total.
yes.
So I have started it, pivoted around. Yeah, I think you did the arms after 4 counts of shoulder
I wanted to
shimmy.
redeem myself.
So, yeah, no, it worked out.
I was like, oh, I did that wrong.
But you stopped it to the back, and that's the thing that we never happened in our drills last week. So kudos to you for stopping it in the back. And remember, we want to do 8 counts of shoulder shimmy. So I'm going to do 4 counts. And then you'll be facing the back at 4 counts, so you can decide to either hold it there another 4 counts and do the hip drops, and then do more shoulder shimmies to come back to the front. Or you can go ahead and come on around, so you did a little both. And then when you do that, I'll finish the hip drops to the front. So regardless, we have to do 8 counts of shoulder shimmy, 8 counts of hip drop. So I love just getting all the things, especially in week 4, into the drills so we can look at everything together and make sure everybody's totally solid with it. Okay, so now let's look at a fade. So this is where the dragonfly really gets to travel. This is your dragonfly zipping around on a hot summer evening for sure. So we are going to do the quarter turn, but just like the Turkish shimmy quarter turn, when we're facing the sides is when it's going to fade. And let me just say, we are a duet here tonight, but fading only happens in trios and quartets. So everybody just pretend like we have a third person here. So we're doing it 4 counts per side, arms are down, and this is when we're moving to the back. Like I'm moving, the lead moves to the back, the trio position moves to the front, the duet position moves to the back, or quartet position moves to the front. And then we're going to do arms up to the back, staying put, but making sure you're at dance angle, and then arms down on the countertop to move on this side, to move back to the front, and then arms come back up overhead when you're facing the front. So 4 counts per side. Make sure the elbows stay up. We want to end facing the front with the arms up. So we're just traveling when we're facing the side walls, and very much like Turkish shimmy quarter turn. And this is only done in trio and quartet. So let's repeat the same drill, but instead of just doing it staying in place, now we're gonna fade with it. So keep in mind, feet for the dragonfly, the right foot is always in front because this is in the rhythmic undulation family. Okay, so even though, you know, you're used to, and this is where what causes confusion sometimes with our regular shimmy, and people want to put their right foot in front with the regular shimmy. Regular shimmy feet are side by side. This is our regular shimmy, feet are side by side. This is our Arabic shimmy, right foot is in the front the whole time. So just make sure that you're doing the correct feet here, and then doing the correct feet when you do the shimmy. Okay, let's drill it. Okay, you want to start off leading, Erin? Let's find a different song this time. All right, let's try this.
That was fun.
That's a really fun song. That song has a lot of attitude, you know? I enjoyed that.
Makes you wanna bump your hip.
Makes you want to bump your heels, absolutely. Okay, so feet. Did anybody struggle with the feet? Because we're having to keep the right foot in the front and we're still having to travel back. So it kind of feels like our Arabic hip twist, yeah? And it's like in the past, you have a turn and then you have a step back, but we don't really have that because there was no turn. But I did play with it different ways. I was like, well, let's start the core step. Let's do the quarter turn in place and then let's fade. And then when you let it, you went straight from the core step into the fade. So we've got some variation there. I thought that was super interesting. And when I came out, I went back into Arabic shimmy one time, and I'll tell you why, is because there was a little bit of this phrasing in the music that just needed like an extra 4 counts. And I didn't want to go back into starting the arms again and have the arms being down and then trying to raise them up really quick to go into the swivel step because I wanted to hit that phrase change. Also, I thought, let me throw in the A-swat because it's an Arabic shimmy as well. So how did that feel, putting the Arabic shimmy with arms and turn and the dragonfly together?
It surprised me.
It surprised
But
you?
I got it.
But it was easy to catch?
I was like, oh.
Because let's look at it. So we're already in the Arabic shimmy. And then I'm gonna go to the left. And this, if you're gonna do this step, your ultimate place to end is this turn. And then I'm ending here, I'm already in an Arabic shimmy, so I just start my arms, right? So that seemed pretty easy. And I kind of like those two steps together. Because you've got a big swirly turn, you've got two turning to two sides, then a big swirly turn, and then you're doing something really specific with the arms, and it's repeating to all 4 sides, which is different than A-swat. So, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so now let's look at the circle. So this travels in a circle similar to the Arabic hip twist with the flourish. All right, so what I'm gonna do is face in, and I'm gonna travel with 4 counts of arms, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm just gonna flourish my arms up and pancake step, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I'm gonna go back into my Arabic shimmy, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm gonna pancake turn and flourish the arms up, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it's 2 turns, but I just did 1. Just because. Just because I did, but not because you should, right? So everybody knows what pancake turns are, right? It's in our Turkish shimmy with arms and turn, it's in our Arabic shimmy with arms and turn. When we covered Arabic shimmy with arms and turn this month in this class, we learned if we're all on a circle, on the outer edge of a circle, I'm gonna pivot on my left foot and take my right foot on continuing the edge of the circle, then pivot on my right foot, move my left foot on the edge of the circle, pivot on the left foot, right foot continues on the edge of the circle, pivot on the right foot, left foot, and then I end back facing in. So you start facing in, you face out, you face in, you face out, and when you come back in, you're starting on the next round of the step. Okay? Want to walk through it?
Yes.
Okay.
Normal pace?
It's what?
Normal pace?
Yes, no music, no music.
Okay,
We'll just
cool.
walk through at normal pace. All right, so I'm gonna set it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got to start my quarter turn. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. I stay facing in on 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, then I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm down 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, and down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Feels okay?
Yeah, not as bad as I thought. I was like, oh Lord, my feet are gonna get all.
I know, but I think it's because you already know the pancake turn feet on the circle, and you already know the Arabic hip twist flourish, right? So we're here.
Hands are already there.
Our palms are already facing out, so we're just going to turn them up and then in. Yeah. To turn back out, turn them up and then in, and then the palms go back out, turn it up and then in. So you see how my palms face out and then they face into the center. Yeah. So the thing we have to think about when we're moving in a group like this, it's more interesting in a trio or quartet, but you can absolutely do it in a trio, right? I'm sorry, in a duet. But in a trio or quartet, we really need to pay attention to everybody that's dancing with us. So let's say if we had 2 other people here, when I am facing in doing this part, I'm going to stare across the circle and make eye contact with Erin, the person across from me. And when I'm turning, I'm going to look at the person that's on my left side and spot on them because I don't want to mow them down, right? Mm-hmm. And then Erin and I should line up again. We've got to be mindful of our foot width as we're doing this. This is not something where I want to do this because I guarantee you, you're going to be going faster in the circle than anybody else. And so that's something we kind of have to rein our feet in on these traveling steps just to make sure we're all traveling at the same rate of speed. Yes. Okay. All right, so we have 1 minute left. So let's just do that 1 minute, maybe go into another minute and put this step together. And it's just going to be an improv. So whatever steps we've worked on this month, try to get them in. So it's no specific drill. And let's do that song again. That was really fun. But I'm gonna stop it. So I'm gonna advance it in. Yay! Awesome. All right, that was fun. I don't know if online, if you could hear us giggling, but I think doing the dragonfly in a circle makes us laugh. Yes.
Like, ooh, it's a new one.
I know, exactly. So I was trying to play with, okay, if I wasn't doing an aerobic shimmy, or if I wasn't doing the dragonfly, and I do something else and stay facing in, if I do the arms, is she gonna pick it up? And the answer is? Yes. Because we're looking at each other. And you know what? I think I was doing an aerobic shimmy with arms and turn, stayed facing in.
Yeah.
So technically we already were in an aerobic shimmy. So that made it a little bit easier transition because your feet were already on the ball, you're already shimmying.
Yeah.
So
when I use a triangle step to turn in, did that work or
it
not?
did. I got it. So when you use the triangle step to turn in, arms are overhead. Yeah, you just had to come up on the balls of the feet.
Okay.
So one thing as I'm following you, Erin, I'd like to see is a little bit more of an indication to me that we're transitioning the feet on the and.
Oh, okay.
So for example, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 1. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So try to prepare that foot, and you'll see in videos, you'll see Carolina does a really big kind of bounce when she comes from on the ball down to the heel of the left foot. So we generally have to do it on the left foot. That's where our transition happens from ball to heel, or ball to flat, or flat to ball. So now the water pot might be a little bit of an exception, but we're going to look at that next. Okay. Feels good?
Good.
Okay, so just a reminder that there's no class next week because I'm out of town visiting family. So we will be here again July 11th. So everybody enjoy your July 4th holiday and your week off, and practice some of the recorded classes. Put some drills together, maybe using the steps we've worked on this month. Put some drills together that are different maybe than something we worked on in class, and practice them with your friends. Yeah, okay, cool. Or videotape yourself. All these things show us wonderful habits about ourselves. Okay, goodbye everybody.